Hi, and welcome to the Feel Good Always podcast. I'm Becky Bradley. This is real stories of love, connection, and remembering who we are. I get questions all the time asking how I connect to Keira. What does it mean that I can hear her? People will tell me, well, I never dream about my person. I really want to just share with you 10 different ways that your loved one might already be communicating with you, and maybe you don't realize that this is what it is. Because there are so many different ways in this interconnectedness that we all have that we are being communicated with. I know as someone who has never paid attention to anything that has to do with the afterlife, when my daughter died, I didn't really know what to look for. I was just having this experience. And so there were a lot of things that felt like my own thoughts. I didn't know right away that that was Keira. And so I want to share some of these things with you so that if you have someone on the other side that maybe you are connecting with them in this way and you just don't know it yet. Before we get started, I want to share with you, I am going to be writing a Feel Good Always newsletter every Thursday morning in real time. I will not be using AI, just me sharing what I'm experiencing, what I'm learning, whatever I feel that is coming in at that moment, I will be sharing. And so it will be all kinds of topics: signs, grief, continued connection, life after death, consciousness, really whatever I'm being shown to share. I put a link in the show notes. Just click on that link, put your email in there. And then when you get the welcome email from me, reply back. Let me know you're listening. Let me know a little bit about you. I read every single email. I read every single message. We really do all of this together, and it does help me to communicate directly with you. You can also go to feelgoodalways.org and click newsletter to sign up, or just fill in the pop-up. For those of you that are new here, my daughter Keira Bradley was in a fatal accident at 15 years old, and I experienced soul-crushing grief. But side by side, I started experiencing a massive expansion in my consciousness, really connected to her, to everything and everyone. And she has shown me so much, along with many souls on the other side, really helping us all walk into this beautiful collective awakening, raising of consciousness that only love is real. And she guided me to start this podcast. She guided me to be on social media. If you found me over there, this podcast, we really expand on a lot of the things that I talk about over there. And it's all guided by Keira, and we are still very connected. And if you have someone on the other side, they have brought you here and will take you everywhere you need to go to show you what you need. I promise you that. So I don't believe it's by accident. I'm really glad you're here. So let's get started. Going to talk about the 10 ways that you might already be getting communication and you don't know it. Now, remember, we're all interconnected, all of us. We actually come from oneness. And that means that when we leave our bodies, like my daughter Keira did, I'm still connected to her, but I'm also connected to my cat. And I'm connected to the guy at the store, and I'm connected to everybody listening because we're all connected. And there are certain ways that we can feel this connection to each other, not only people on the other side, it could also be your higher self. It could be your spirit guides all helping you. So whatever feels true to you, this can apply to all of that. Spirit guides, higher self, God. I sometimes think of it as the things I experience. Yes, it started with Keira, but it feels bigger. It feels like humanity, that we're like all doing this work together, like on a higher level, and like that will be coming through me, or my future self is coming through me. And so some of these feelings, it's not just Keira, but Keira really opened the door for me. And of course, Keira is part of everything. So she is part of it. So the reason I'm doing this is I'm just feeling into the energy. A lot of people asking me questions about this. Why haven't I received a sign? Or I never dream about my person. And guess what? I don't really dream about Keira either. Some people have dreams. My husband has dreams about Keira very often. I don't. I actually don't really remember my dreams. That doesn't mean that something is wrong or that I'm not doing it right. I just trust my experience and know that that is not that is not where I get the connection from, not right now anyways. It doesn't mean that it won't come later. Some people maybe don't experience as many physical signs as other people. Everyone has different gifts, just like we're all different, right? We all are different shapes and sizes. We all have different personalities. The way that you receive communication could be different for you. That's why it's hard to articulate sometimes what I am experiencing or any of us are experiencing because it's all very individual. Some people can actually see spirits. Some people actually hear spirits. Some people are only feeling with the body. Some people just know things. Some people dream. And some people experience a lot of physical signs and a lot of synchronicity. I know things. I experience a rapid amount of signs and synchronicity, but you don't need to connect in the way that I connect. You don't need to connect in the way that your friend connects. And you don't need to be a psychic or a medium to begin recognizing these experiences. I consider myself psychic. I do consider myself a medium. I'm connected to the other side because I believe that we're all mediums. Anytime anything is coming through us, we are a medium. Our body is the medium for it to come through. And I'm not a practicing medium like Jane, who was on last week. I don't do that for a living, but I am a medium and I believe you are too. And so the physical signs that we see that they are showing us, we are being the medium. It's coming through us. We are seeing it. So that is number one, physical signs out in the world. I share so much about this. If you're following me on social media, I share signs all the time. I share a sign of the week. This can be anything, animals, butterflies, birds, ladybugs. Our loved ones can use the physical world to have a conversation with us. And at first for me, it started out with rainbows and then it was ladybugs and then it was these long threads of connection so that it really is a conversation. I can have a thought and a license plate will pull in front of me. My daughter, Maddie, was having a really hard time and struggling, and she asked Keira for help. What do I do right now? What do I do? I'm just really struggling. In her mind, she was asking her this, and a car pulled in front of her and it said doobie, like smoke a doobie. And Maddie doesn't do that, but she just started laughing because it was Keira's personality coming through using a physical sign. And so that is one way they're constantly communicating. I talk about this a lot, that we don't want to discount any signs. Like that wasn't good enough. That was just coincidence. Every single sign counts every single time. Actually, everything's a sign if it's all interconnected. And when we start looking at everything like, oh, the color purple is a sign. I remember when people were talking about the color purple being a sign, I thought, well, that's not big enough. But it was listening to other people. She has purple pants on. That's a sign from Keira. Like literally, it could be that simple. You're walking in the store and you start noticing the color purple, the color yellow. When you come into a field of awareness, you could be communicated with at all times. You just want to pay attention to the timing, the way you feel, whether or not it's happening over and over. Like when I start to notice those purple pants, boom, 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 boom. Now I'm noticing a bunch of them. And it's not just that I'm starting to notice. Yes, I'm noticing, and also more are appearing. So pay attention to the physical signs. That's number one. Number two, dreams. So I believe that our dreams are another state of reality. So we have the reality that we're all here in this world. And then also our dreams are a form of reality. Keira came to me early on, right after she died, in my dream. We were at the gym in the dream and I just vividly, like, it was so real. Like I could touch her, feel her. She wasn't speaking. A lot of times they're not speaking because on the other side, they're telepathic. We were just talking without using words. And I remember waking up and being really, really sad because I just couldn't believe that this was real, that I had seen her, and I just wanted to go back to bed so I could dream about her again. And someone told me then that that was a visitation dream when it feels really real. And they're usually happy. Like if they're not happy in the dream or they're showing you something scary, then it's not a visitation dream. That's like coming from your own subconscious. Anything scary is not from them. Remember that. Because nothing Keira has ever sent me or anything from the other side, from all of these literally expansive souls, has ever been scary. It's only been from pure love and pure light. if something starts to feel scary, I'm very aware that it's coming from inside of me, a fear inside of me. And it's never been from Keira. So in the dreams, if they're scary dreams, yeah, it's not them. So pay attention in your dreams. You wake up and you feel like you were actually with them. You remember it much clearer than another dream. This is definitely a visitation. And some people get these often. That is another form of reality that you actually can meet there. And maybe you don't dream. I don't dream very often, but there are other ways, which brings me to number 3. So this is like our thoughts. This is a big one that I have. A lot of my communication feels like my own thought. But what I realized is that I have thoughts that don't feel like my ideas. And I've shared a lot of that on this podcast. That's how I knew that it was Keira communicating with me, because it was things like, I had these thoughts like get on social media, start a podcast. These are not things that I really wanted to do. Or like I kept having a feeling like I needed to go meet with the moms of Keira's friends, which I didn't want to, but I was feeling like there was a part of myself that was pushing me to do it. And I now understand that that is Keira speaking to me kind of through my own thoughts. And like, or suddenly a phrase comes to your head, or you think about someone. And like just earlier, I had somebody pop into my head and I thought, why do I keep thinking of him? And then I realized, oh, his brother's on the other side. It's probably his brother connecting with me, making sure I connect to him. And that happens a lot. Now it happens enough that when I have a thought, I pay attention to what my thoughts are, especially when it's about somebody else. And I reach out to that person and just let them know. I don't care if they think I'm crazy, or if I say, your brother is connecting with me right now. He's just looking out for you. Almost always the person had something just going on, because it's when we trust this knowing, right? Or even just like when you think about somebody and just say you popped into my mind, and like understanding that when someone pops into your mind, it's their higher self connecting to you. That especially if they keep coming in. I know a lot of people have experienced this. Well, that is just a perfect example. If you have that, if you think of someone and then they message you, or you see them the next day at the store, this is an example of having these thoughts that are showing you something. So if you have these thoughts, just get curious, pay attention to your thoughts, especially if it doesn't feel like something that you would think before. That very much could be your loved one communicating with you. So number 4 is just knowing, a sudden knowing. This one is different because there might not be any words at all in your thoughts. It's just you know something. You know that someone is okay. You know that they're with you. You know what something means, or you just get like a download of information. Let's say something simple like you were going to go on a weekend trip with some friends, and you just know that one of your friends is not going. You just know it out of nowhere, kind of. Well, where is that coming from? Where is that info? Are you tapping into the future? Well, this could be your loved one communicating with you. Also knowing something that's going to happen. I share a lot on here that I know that we have all moved into this higher level of consciousness, that we all experience this high connection. I know it. There are a lot of things that I just know. And it's like I got downloaded all this information. And the great thing is that I can trust it. And I'm trusting something that's coming from love. I know certain things aren't real. I know the devil is not real. I know that hell is not real. Like I know it. And it's that deep knowing, right? That is information that your soul, your person on the other side is sharing with you. So pay attention when you know something, and really just trust yourself, especially when it feels good. Which brings us to number 5, seeing images in your mind. So maybe some memory pops up out of nowhere, or you suddenly picture your person. An image just flashes in your mind, and that could be them, seeing them. It's like seeing in your mind's eye images. I know a lot of people will communicate in this way where they have the spirit of their loved one, and their loved one is like really sharing images with them in their head. And so if you see images flash up, like right now, I just had a cat image flash up in my mind. And I don't know, maybe somebody that's listening, that's for you, but it's having these images pop in and just paying attention. Is this being shared? So if you're connecting with your loved one on the other side, or with your guides and you start seeing certain images, paying attention because those are being given to you, like merge consciousness, to be clairvoyant, where it's like clear seeing and you're seeing these images. I know that some people don't see anything, not at all, can't even see images. Again, that's okay. We all experience this in different ways because we all have our different gifts, which brings us to number 6. And I think most people experience this. It's feeling their presence or physical sensation. So like if you ever had the chills or goosebumps, that is their energy merging with yours. When you're reading something and you get the chills, or I tell you a story and all of a sudden you get the chills, this is something that you really need to pay attention to. And it's something that I paid attention to so much more after Keira died, because as I started to accelerate in my connection, I paid more attention to my body because I started having way more experiences where I would have the chills or like feel like a heartbeat in my neck or like little muscle twitches or like it feels like somebody's like tapping on my head. So these are these physical sensations in our body. It could feel like all of a sudden your body gets super cold or super warm. It's this energy that is moving through your body, or maybe you suddenly feel peaceful. And that is that overwhelming feeling of their presence. You feel like they're here. And so like this type of intuitive feeling can be called clairsentience. It's like that clear feeling. It's like the feel good always, right? It's like the emphasis on feel. It's really getting in touch with our bodies, with the way we feel, allowing ourselves to emote, to have emotions, to feel sadness, to feel happiness, to really feel it all. When we expand ourselves to feel it all without distracting ourselves or without telling ourselves we should or should not feel a certain way, we expand all of that feeling and we could feel it in the body. It's like pay attention to how it feels in the body. And then if you get the chills or you get different sensations, pay attention, because that is also a way that they are communicating with us. So that's clairsentience. And now number 8, other people. This is a really big one. Communication doesn't necessarily have to come directly to you from your person in your mind, or you seeing images, or you feeling them in your body. It can be that someone else is bringing the information, like I am bringing it to you right now, right? So this information is coming through me to you and could be information coming to you from your person. It could be in a book. It could be in the form of another person. It could be on a podcast to tell you something that has meaning for you. So it's just paying attention to what your life is showing you, because they can come through in that way too. And sometimes you'll hear the same things over. I always say, if you keep hearing the same thing, pay attention. That is a message from your loved one. Or it could be a message from your guide. A good example is after Keira died, I had this woman who does Reiki. 3 different people recommended her to me. After the 3rd time, I'm paying attention. And that happens a lot. It's not that I live in a small town. And even if I did live in a small town, which I kind of do, we can't discount it. When you hear it 3 times, pay attention. Actually, also pay attention to the way it feels and what you know. And often the person that is delivering the message has no idea when they're delivering it to you that it is being channeled through them to you. We are all doing this all the time, sharing things with each other, living in this field of connection. I am just highly attuned and aware of it. And so I am always really in that field of awareness, paying attention to what my life is showing me. And in the beginning, I really felt like every aspect of my life, Keira was showing me something. And I looked at everything in that way. And I still do that today. I pay attention to my life, everything, every aspect. So especially the people that come in. If somebody ends up in my inbox sending me messages, I know that I am supposed to be talking to that person because they wouldn't have found me. And so I pay attention not only what I can help them with, but also they're usually bringing me information too. So just pay attention to every person that walks into your life, soul family, delivering you information, helping you do whatever it is, whatever your piece is that you need to do in the world, helping you heal. Everything you need is coming to you. So now number 9, memories that come out of nowhere. Okay, this is like so interesting. And I I love this and it makes so much sense to me. So, I would be really sad when Keira died and I would have memories of her. They would make me really sad. But then I realized that she's actually sharing that memory with me. So when a flashback of a memory happens, she's actually sharing it with me. We're actually having that memory together. And maybe it's something that I haven't thought of in years. All of a sudden, my mind flashes to that. So it's something that she said to me or something that happened. I'm she's showing me that. And that is the truth, that we're always sharing things. And maybe it makes me sad in the moment and I start crying, and that's okay too. I just know that she's there with me. So think about that. Think about your memories. That is another way that they can share something with you. So instead of looking at it oh my gosh, they're not here anymore, I miss that moment so much, which you can miss it. Of course you can. Just understand that they are right there in that memory with you. And also, everything is happening in the eternal now, which is right now. So that memory that you are having is actually happening right now. I love to think about it like that. Keira and I are physically together right now in some space and time, not only in the future when I transition and I'm out of my body, but also all of the times that we were together before, because it's all happening now. So I'm pregnant with her. She's 13 years old, every moment, which is mind blowing to think about. But just think, we're always together right now. And when they share those memories with you, just know that they're showing you something. And so pay attention to that. And you don't have to decide that every memory is communication. It's not every single thought, but you will know. So trust that. The last thing that I'm going to share, and I want you to know that there are a lot more than this, but this is the top 10 that I wanted to share in this episode. Music, words, books, technologies, podcasts. This is a way that they are communicating. Kind of like I said before, they can communicate through absolutely everything. Pay attention to the music. A song comes on exactly the right moment. Listen to the lyrics. It can be a conversation. Think about what was I thinking about? I have a song will come on and it'll be right next to you. I'm oh yeah, she is driving right next to me. And then the next song is about joy. So when I play my Spotify, I really just listen to it as a conversation. And I want to say that when Keira first died, I was not able to listen to music for a very long time because she loved music so much. And my Reiki person kept telling me she wants you to listen to music. And finally I listened, and I'm so glad that I did, because it's really a beautiful place for her to communicate to me through music. I mean, I've just had so much stuff happen. I want to also share that I will put a song to a post on my social media, and almost always it's a sign for somebody else. Yesterday, I made a post about a connection I have to this little boy, Louie, on the other side, and his mom. It was beautiful. If you're following my stories on Instagram and Facebook, I share a lot there. I picked the song called Her Mom. I don't know. I just kept looking and I was okay, this one. And then afterwards, his mom tells me that is the song that she listened to every single time on the way home from the hospital, right? So I know that little Louie was helping me pick that song. I know it. He was helping me pick that song so that when I made that story about him and Keira helping me and his mom, that the song was another piece to the story. So they are constantly communicating in everything that we do. Another thing, TV, pay attention. You walk in the room, there's some closed caption on the TV, there's a screen. Just pay attention. A photo can just all of a sudden appear on your phone. That happens all the time. My featured photos are constantly communicating with me. You get a phone call, you have a missed call. Pay attention to what's happening. Don't dismiss it as just a glitch. They are using the technology 100%. Absolutely no question. And lastly, I said there was going to be 10, but I'm just going to say one more thing. When you're seeing the sign, synchronicities and patterns, just notice when the same things start happening. When one thing threads into another and connects to another, someone says something and then you see the same name. I pay attention to the names of people. If I see a name at Trader Joe's of the name tag of somebody, and then I see the name again, and then I see the name again, I just pay attention, because most likely I'm either going to meet somebody by that name, or someone is going to meet me and they have someone on the other side by that name. So it's just really just paying attention to the patterns in your life, because there's constant communication, going on. If you ask yourself if it was a sign, it was every single time. We can just ask ourselves, what am I being shown through all of this? And this is where the signs, the communication can really begin opening us up into this beautiful, greater awareness of how interconnected we are, not only to our people on the other side, but to each other, to animals, to just everything. And it really feels really beautiful. So I hope that this helps you see more and that maybe you can not dismiss these experiences or explain everything away anymore. You don't have to look outside of yourself for validation. You're being given everything that you need. You can trust yourself. And I talk a lot that like maybe you need a little brainwashing in the sense that you have to like keep listening to these podcasts, read books, find other people, even if it's just on social media that are believing this, because we have to like move away the doubt and start really believing that this is possible. I promise you it is. It is so, so possible. Really, just moving forward this week, I would love for you to, instead of thinking, why aren't they communicating with me? Or, oh my gosh, I want to connect so much. Or I'm already connecting, but I want more. Just keep asking your life, like, how is this connection already showing up for me? Because you might realize that you've been experiencing far more than you thought, and that this connection is happening the way it happens specifically for you. Don't look to how other people experience it. Allow yourself to have your own experience and trust that it is happening. There's just so much beauty, and I'm just so grateful to be able to experience it myself and be able to share with all of you. This Thursday, I'll be sending out that newsletter. Sign up down in the show notes. Just click the link or go to feelgoodalways.org and click newsletter and sign up there. I'll be sharing more about how we can stay connected. I actually, to be honest with you, I don't know what I'm going to be sharing. I literally just, like, I listen to the energy, okay? That's what I do. And I probably need to say something like, oh, I know what, I don't know. I very much live in the present moment. Even this podcast, if you're listening to it on the day that it came out, I recorded it yesterday today is Monday. And I do that because I feel into the energy of the present moment to share. So if you trust me, trust that that newsletter will offer you something, and it's going to be written without AI. It's going to be really beautiful. I'm super grateful to be doing this with all of you. So sign up down there. That helps keep us in touch. I can't wait to see what it is. So sign up. I will be doing another solo episode next week. At least in this moment, that's what I'm going to be doing. Follow the podcast if you haven't already, and share this podcast with somebody if you think it'll help them. Enjoy your day. Feel good always.